popped in, inside pops out. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new, very exciting episode from Backyard Boys. And if you guys are new to this channel, go ahead and lightly tap that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications. Don't forget to smash that like button to show your support and comment your thoughts and ideas down below. In the last episode, or the previous video to this one, we actually posted a Rolls Royce video and it seemed like it got some decent amount of attention. If you guys want a quick overview of the vehicle and kind of an explanation of what this car is all about and why we have this vehicle in our hands, make sure to watch that first video. Make sure to get that first video to 10,000 likes and we're gonna do some donuts in this Rolls Royce over here. And in this episode, guys, what we're gonna do is actually get all this stuff ready for body filler. The goal here is to hit out every single dent to the point where we're gonna need the minimal amount of body filler at all. Like, we're gonna try to get this thing as flat as we can. We're gonna work with it. We have a hammer, dollies, and everything. What we're gonna do first things first is probably take off this quarter panel because we have the most aggressive damage on the door here. Or sorry, the quarter panel, I meant the door. We're gonna pull off the door, and the most aggressive damage we have is right here in this section. Luckily, like I said in the last episode, this is very thin, one ply here, so we can get all this stuff out. And then the door has some damage from the inside, so we're gonna have to hit that out with the hammer. What I'm gonna do is roughly hit everything out as much as I can, put the door back on, and then do my final work. But I wanna show you guys quickly the damage, to what extent it went, so you guys can see clearly. Fat buckle wave right there. Inside the door, once I'll take it off, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. There is a crack inside the door, paint crack. And then looking from here, just come look at this angle from the camera, and you can see that, you know, we have some pretty severe damage right here. It is aluminum, everything is aluminum, so I got to be very careful with it, make sure I don't crack it or anything. And also, one more thing I want to point out is inside this door, once I pull it off, I'll get a better visual for you guys, but there's a nice little buckle inside here as well. So we're gonna get the door off and we're gonna paint the vehicle with the door off the car. That way we can paint everything inside there and then paint inside of the door, make sure everything's nice and clean. Let's go ahead and take a look at the original side just so we get a kind of a comparison of what exactly I'm talking about. Take a look here. It's nice and flat, nice and clean, exactly how it should be. And then we can see the quarter panel arcs out just a very slight. We see this body line here that mellows out, is basically gone just about here, just a nice little flare here. And then we have this little sharper body line that kind of mellows out as well. So here it's pretty darn mellow. We're gonna go ahead and replicate everything, make sure that we get this exact look on the other side. We have a gap here that's all identical as well. And then inside here, it's nice and flush. There's no buckles or anything. So we're gonna go ahead and replicate all that stuff, make sure that the other side looks exactly like this side, and then we're gonna start hitting the doors from the inside. The panels are already off. I have clean access to it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit complicated. It's aluminum. Aluminum doesn't really like to work with you as much as steel. Aluminum likes to basically kind of, I guess, especially panels, I noticed they like to return to where they were. So like, for example, if it's, you know, if I'm trying to hit it out, it'll like tin can, it'll be like bong, 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 like boom, you know, pop out, pop back in, pop out, pop back in. And with steel, I can heat shrink it, and it won't do that. But with aluminum, I might have to use some techniques of torching at a special heat, because aluminum melts at a certain temperature, it melts, and then you're gonna have a hole, and then it's gonna cause us a way bigger problem. So we might have to torch it a little bit, and then get like an ice rag, and then maybe if we use that technique, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. But it does heat shrink the metal, the aluminum a little bit, and gives us some wiggle room. So while we're shrinking it, we tap it in. I've done it before on a A8 quarter panel. It was kind of complicated, but we got it done. So I'm pretty sure we can tackle this Rolls Royce. Let's get it. To get the door off, it's really straightforward and simple. We have a bolt under here on the upper hinge, and then we have a bolt on top on the lower hinge, and then this door actually just slides up and off. But prior to doing that, we got to remove the striker and all the electrical, the connection to all the electrical components. It's a size 8 to get the electrical off. There's a little bolt over here, so we got to pop that off. And once we get that off, we can actually pull the striker off, and then from there, cool thing about this is, I think I got it loose. Cool thing about this is I can pull off these two size 10s. So the hinge bolts, I can pull them off, and then to measure the door, all we have to do is slide the door on. You know, we can close it, pop the door off, slide the door on. It's not like it's not a very annoying process where you got to bolt the hinges up, make sure that everything is lined up. You know, like basically set gaps over and over again. I like this system here. It's very easy, much more easier. Get this door off. Here you guys can see a much better visual of what I'm talking about right there. Doesn't look too scary though. I feel like I can get all this stuff straightened out. So what I'm gonna do, first things first, I'm gonna try to, just kind of an idea came to my head. I'm gonna put a piece of 2x4 right here. I'm gonna use a little pry bar, and then I'm gonna get a pry bar from this angle as well, and pry this at the same time and see how this likes to work. Maybe I'll apply some very light heat here, just with a heat gun or something, just enough to get it a little bit warm, and see if I can just kind of walk this out rather than having to hammer it, because if I walk this out over here, that means I don't have to paint anything inside here. There's no paint damage inside here. It'll be nice. Trying to get it out right here. Not having too much good access with the wheel being on, so what we're gonna do is actually grab a jack, pull this wheel off, and then I'm gonna have clear access here. I can put some tension here and repair this inside wall, because this inside wall is what's holding it from coming out. I'm putting some outward pressure here, that way it's coming this way, and then I gotta fix this support wall here, that way it doesn't fall back in. So that's kind of, if it makes sense, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get this wheel off, put some tension on here, and then hammer this inside here, that way it comes out. Do you guys remember in the beginning of the episode, I did mention about the inside of the door being damaged, and this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. So that's gonna get painted, but that right there is actually some pretty darn heavy damage here. We gotta get all this hit out, and then, yeah, so we gotta get all this knocked out and then make this line right here fit perfect with the quarter panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this out as much as I think I need to hit it out, and then I'm gonna measure the door and then do another measurement, play with the quarter panel when the door is on, and then just continue playing with it. Just continue working with it, seeing where it likes to sit and where the gap looks the prettiest, and measuring. Most likely we're gonna get some kind of stick and just measure on the other side, make sure we pull it out just enough so it would replicate the other side, basically looking OEM. That's our goal. Let's get it done. Would you look at that? It may not seem like we did a lot of work today, but we did the most important work. The most important work was the gaps, getting all the rough drafting work done. The quarter panel is just about in its spec. You know, the door actually has to go a little bit more. That's why it's a little funny here. That's why the gap is a little bit tight right here, because this door is buckled in a little bit. Once we pull it off the last time, we're gonna get this peeled out and it's gonna be perfect. Look at this gap under here, from here all the way through. All the way through. It's nice and clean, nice and even. This door here from the accident got sucked in right here. The bottom of the section of the door was damaged. We had to twist the door open basically by putting a piece of wood inside here. Put a piece of wood inside here. Went ahead to close the door and push the top of it. That way we can kind of twist the bottom of this door out. Now the door lines up very nice and smooth. Adjusted the striker on this, lowered the door here. Everything is perfect. The gaps are all perfect right now. The gaps are beautiful. Next, tomorrow, what we gotta do is actually get this stuff out. This is gonna be very annoying. Aluminum likes to play, bounce, tin can, this and that. We're gonna try to get the low spots, heat the high spots, shrink the high spots, work with it, play with it. We're trying to save these doors. These are very expensive doors. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. What is up, guys? Next morning here, and we don't have a lot of time to waste, so we're gonna get right into it. That's it for doing everything. So this thing is hand built. That means everything gotta be stripped off with no power tools. Hand tools only. Is that right? Sir. So we're working on the outside of this door. And as I explained earlier, we got all this stuff straight. And now it's actually time to get the, I don't know how to say it, like the wobbly part of the door. Like this is really flimsy. Realistically speaking, it's really flimsy. And since there's a support bar inside there, when this door got hit, basically all it did was stretch the metal on both sides of the support bar, or actually most likely stretch the metal on the support bar. And basically what happened is it kind of highlighted this little support beam out here, and that's why you guys can see I'm already kind of knocking it in right here. I got it flat right here. Still got to get with this, work with this a little bit. But what we're gonna do is actually tear apart that inside piece, as you guys saw Ed tearing apart. We're gonna cut it and flip it open. And then I'm gonna put pressure up top over here. And as I put pressure here, I'm gonna try to work this metal into that. That way I don't have to shrink as much as, actually, you know, on the rear door or on the front door, I don't think I have to shrink that much. On this door, I may have to do some more shrinking because this door took more damage, significant damage over here. It's hard to tell because the vehicle is black, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with this door. Let's go ahead and continue working. Okay, now we have a very interesting scenario here. The majority of the door is straight. We do have a little bit over there to play with, but this is pretty darn close to being ready for body filler. This here was some stretched metal. So if we reach our hand inside here, we press here, boom, popped in, inside, pops out, in, out. So you guys can see that little tin can effect. Right now what we're gonna do is use a little heating, and we're gonna use a rag and a water bottle, some cold water, to get this thing basically shrunk back. This is very dangerous to do because if you heat up too much, you can make a hole in this aluminum. Aluminum melts way less degrees, way less temperature than regular steel. So what we gotta do is heat this thing, play with it a little bit, and I don't know if the camera can capture, but when you start heating this, you can just see how this bubbles up. And as soon as it bubbles up, you wanna get a wet rag, ice cold water, and just and hope that it comes back down to where you need to. But also what you need to do is hammer it a little bit. So I may have a dolly inside here, put a dolly inside here, heat it, put that dolly up there, cold, make it cold, what's called, shrink it back up, and then tap it down to get it to where we want it to be. It's a little bubbly right here, and I'm not liking it whatsoever. You can see that. See, I can't pop it out, get my hand in there, boom. Let's give it a shot. Yo, this thing looks absolutely sick, and I'm super excited to get it done. But we are done with this episode for now, and the reason why is because the rear door has the exact same kind of work as the front door, so there's no point of getting repeated content for you guys. What we're gonna do is actually fix the rear door off camera. We got all the gaps pretty nice and neat. The front door is basically ready for our body fillers. Go ahead and take a quick look at it prior to wrapping this episode up. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A lot of work, and this panel here is really big, so it has a lot of flimsy movement, a lot of it's difficult. It was difficult, but we got it done. This car already looks a lot better on the side just because all the gaps are perfect. We got the quarter panel knocked out. You know, maybe it didn't seem like that much work, but we did spend maybe a total like 15-20 hours, maybe like 15 hours working on this car so far. We're happy with it. It's gonna be ready for body filler by the next episode. So the next episode, we're probably gonna start knocking it down and putting some body filler on it. By the way, the piece for the GTR did come in, so you guys will be getting back to GTR content. We're gonna try to get that all the way through, and then probably save the Rolls Royce videos just in case we run into any kind of other issues. But for now, I'm gonna leave you guys off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching to the very end. If you guys wanna support the channel, please cop yourself some merch down below. It's gonna be the link called shopbackyardboys.com. Any kind of piece of merch helps with the channel. With all that being said, I do have some very exciting news coming, and we do have a very cool build. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you couldn't see it. By the way, if anyone was asking regarding the X5M, why is it over there? Initially we got the wrong headlight, so I got a new headlight, and we're getting that programmed. So that's why nobody wrecked it. There's no problems with the car. But hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Smash that like button. Follow me on Instagram at BYBTim. For now, I'm out.